This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900. News is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Welcome to News 25 here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Today is Wednesday, April 19th. Well, do you or a loved one qualify for benefits as a result of the PACT Act? This new law expands VA health care and benefits for veterans. We spoke to Bob Hammond from the Prump Chapter 15 of the Disabled American Veterans to find out more.
Okay, the PACT Act was signed by President Biden back in August of last year, and it opened up a lot of presumptive illnesses that high blood pressure, a lot of cancers, breathing issues because of toxic burn pits, a lot of exposures from Agent Orange, from the Gulf War, and so now there's more presumptives. And a veteran needs to come in. They need to start with their primary care physician, have the problem diagnosed, and then once it's been diagnosed, and if we can help them file a claim as a service-connected health issue, then that's what we do. We're at the Desert View Hospital by appointment only, and what I do is I help veterans. It's not just DAV members, it's veterans across the board. It's not the PACT Act, it's any ailment, any service-connected disability that a veteran had. Sore shoulder, foot injury, hearing loss, vision, tinnitus, diabetes, ischemic heart disease. There's a lot of things that if it's a service-connected health issue, then the veteran may qualify for service-connected compensation. We'll try to answer the questions, but if you have an ailment, oftentimes, if you start with your primary care doctor, your VA doctor, they will know that it is a service-connected condition. Now, with the VA and with veterans, the VA will cover across the board. So you're going to get health care regardless. The few times that we can go for compensation, it has to be a service, something that happened physically to you while you're on active duty. And you're living with the results now. When a veteran gets to be 100%, and they've been 100% with the VA for 10 years, it matters mostly with the spouse filing for disability compensation. A veteran that passes away from a service-connected compensation illness, his spouse can file for DIC, Dependent Indemnity Compensation. Before 10 years, the veteran has to pass away from a specific compensated event. After 10 years, I don't want to use the word be invested, but essentially you've been 100% for 10 years, then it's kind of across the board. A veteran passes away, the spouse can come in as long as they have a current marriage license, copy of the veteran's DD 214, death certificate, we can help them file for DIC. You can call my number for appointment, 775-537-5146. Call, leave your name and a phone number. I'll call you back, and then we'll see if we can't schedule an appointment in to come and talk about disability. What we essentially do is we help the veterans file we do the fat finger. We type up the forms, we do the submitting, we help the veteran to file a complete form.
Well, Pat Lemming from Never Forgotten Animal Society went in front of the Regional Planning Commission for an extension of time in relation to the facility's expansion. She says that she's also been hit with an influx of animals that animal control has asked her to take instead of going to the Nye County Animal Shelter.
Never Forgotten Animal Society was granted an extension of time for expansion of the rescue facility until December 31st, 2023. An animal capacity and time limit was also discussed.
In regards to the water, family in the valley has stepped forward. Excuse me if I get emotional here. They have donated 4 acre-feet of water to our organization. and they're paying all of the costs of transferring all title, doing the engineer's report, setting up for the installation of the meter. Just an incredible gift. It's very difficult to be able to limit the number of animals you have on site because of the circumstances that you are confronted with almost on a daily basis. For instance, we had animal control come to us in one instance and say that there was a gentleman that had 60 dogs that he was hoarding and that they would like us to take them. And the owner was willing to surrender them in exchange for not being charged with animal cruelty and abuse. One of the things that we do is that we make sure that every animal that we adopt out is spayed or neutered. We've been able to rehome over 3,000 animals in just the 4 years that we've been in business. To give you an idea, at any given moment, my lowest inventory has been 175 animals. My largest inventory has been over 300. Now, are they on site? Oh, heck no. I don't like cleaning up that much poop.
Are you working with the county shelter at all to help with some of these animals if you can't take some of them? I'm kind of concerned that I heard that the animal control came over and says, can you take these animals? The first place they're supposed to go to is actually the shelter. Now,
I understand.
I'm hoping I'm not hearing that the shelter has turned something away, because it's going to be a problematic issue with me.
No, that was not the case. In this particular case, they were going to have to, at some point, turn this over into an abuse case.
Correct.
And it was just as a courtesy that I made us available, so that maybe that was not going to be necessary.
But I do have an issue with that, but that's okay. That's something I'll discuss with,
Well, that was under the prior sheriff's department, so it's no longer something that we even have to consider.
You can't have over 50 for more than 10 days. Is that acceptable?
It's going to be a challenge, because just trying to get a vet to do a vet check or a vet assessment or health assessment, we're down to 4 vets here in town.
15 days. I'm looking for you.
I would appreciate 15 to 20 days, 20 being the maximum, because then I can make sure that if they have health issues, like we just got hit with parvo. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I mean, that takes time. That's 14 days right there from the onset until they either pass away or they can survive. I would like to compliment you on the staff. Never having been through this process before. And like I said, I was like a deer in the headlights kind of a thing here. Your staff has been exceedingly helpful and has gone out of their way, I think, to be as amenable and as helpful as they can under the circumstances that we're being faced with. So I would like to compliment you on the staff.
And I will call for the vote, starting with Commissioner Blackstock.
Aye.
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 All right.
When we return from this break, we're going to tell you a little bit more about a missing person case.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by John Air. For all your heating and air conditioning needs, call 775-751-2372.
A local man by the name of Alan Goldstein has been reported missing. His mother is concerned about him as he has been suffering from brain damage she says he received as a result of being beaten while he was incarcerated. She also says he has been using narcotics. She stopped by the KPVM TV studios to talk about her son.
Alan Goldstein, he's 32 years old. He usually hangs around on the streets, and hazel eyes. The detective said she called the jails, and she called the psychiatric wards, and she called the rehabs. My son has a drug problem, addiction problem, and he was released from county after a year, and before that he was in prison for 3 years. He was 8 months to being released, and he was really positive about going into a drug program right from there. When he was released, they released him with no medicine, and he had a psychotic breakdown. Obvious being in the psychotic state he is and having mental illness from his experiences and trauma, he also went back to his addiction. My son is about 6'1", 6'2". A lot of times he shaves his head and his whole head is a tattoo. He's 31 years old. He has hazel eyes, and I heard he would hang out a lot by like Little Caesars and that strip of the thing throughout the day. And then he would a lot of times go up to the homeless hill and visit people or sleep somewhere there.
Well, the Women's Fair was held at Nye Communities Coalition this past weekend. Event Chair Nancy Davis says it was a big success and hopes to get more people involved next year.
Today's event is the Women's Fair, and it's here. We're presenting it to the women of Pahrump in order to show them things they may not ordinarily be aware of that we have to offer here. Basically, education, lending opportunities, certainly clothing, jewelry. There are some online businesses that offer Reiki training, some crystal businesses. There's some new businesses here that have just opened up. So we're here to really provide information and products that will enhance their lives and make it more enjoyable. And we feel like that is part of staying healthy, is exercise, and when you can make it fun and not too hard and enjoyable, that's key to staying healthy. So we've expanded what we feel like is items that will enhance people's lives. It is all about supporting women. We feel like education, certainly. We've got Great Basin College here today. Education is key, and opportunities, and sometimes all it takes is something to make you feel good, to be able to get out of a rut, take the next step, and that's what this is all about. The group itself, we are a 100-plus-year-old organization. We are part of the International Seroptimus, and we are of Pahrump Valley. And our purpose is to provide empowerment and enrichment to women's lives through education and opportunities. They can call me at 702-289-6425 or go online. We do have a website, which is Seroptimus Pahrump Valley. And we have meetings here at the Coalition the first and third Tuesdays of every month at 5:30. And we welcome anyone who embraces our purpose to enrich and enhance women's lives. I'm the chairperson for this event, and we're very pleased about the support that we got from the community, and we hope to see it grow even more in the future.
Well, people often resort to ultra-processed foods when they're in a rush, but turning away from fresh foods for the convenience of a fast meal can take a toll on your health.
Anytime that we're having something that's ultra processed and we're having additional salt and we're having additional sugar, this is causing inflammation inside of our bodies. And what we know is that inflammation is directly correlated with developing the disease of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease.
Beth Cherwany is a registered dietitian with Cleveland Clinic. She says ultra-processed foods include things like chicken nuggets, hot dogs, frozen meals, potato chips, and soft drinks. They are foods that not only tend to have a lot of added sugar, salt, and fat, but also many other ingredients from preservatives to food dyes. Chirwini says it's best to read your food labels and avoid ingredients such as high fructose, corn syrup, hydrogenated oils, and sulfites. To phase out ultra-processed foods from your diet, Chirwini recommends eating more whole foods or minimally processed foods like frozen or canned vegetables. You can also make your own version of your go-to comfort foods at home.
If you wanted to make your own chicken nuggets, again, getting that chicken fresh from the store, adding in the ingredients that you want, and knowing what's going to be in that breading. Baked goods as well. So you wouldn't be necessarily adding any high fructose corn syrup. You can reduce the amount of sugar and salt into that. So you can still have something similar to your favorite foods, but ultimately they're going to be overall healthier.
And Cerrone adds it's crucial to find a balance and not to take an all-or-nothing approach when it comes to your diet. Working towards small changes can have a big impact on your health. When we return, we'll have your Save a Pet.
News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back. Well, Hal is a sweet lab mix with beautiful eyes and a beautiful temperament. He's available now at Nye County Animal Shelter.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Realty Executives in Action. Put the team at Realty Executives in action for you.
Hi, I'm Tasha and I'm here at the Nye County Animal Shelter with Howl, who is a 1-year-old Labrador mix. He came to us from the Tonopah area. Unfortunately, his owner wasn't able to care for him any longer. And he came to us relatively underweight. So we're working on getting his weight back up here after his neuter. And he's looking for a forever home. His adoption fee is only $100. And if you'd like to meet him, we ask that you come down to the shelter. We're located at 1580 East Seary Lane, right across from the treasurer's office. And we're open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So come on down and meet Howell.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, take a look at our beautiful outside weather today. It's a little chilly today with that wind in the air. We're going to find out what's in store with John right after this.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios worldwide on that local BTV app and fresh off a 3,300-mile road trip starting Saturday from Alaska. Boy, I just came in from Alaska. Boy, are my arms tired, except I drove, so I'm all tired. It's not just my arms. Fernley, 54 degrees, 56 out there in Fallon. Gorgeous weather. Carson City, 50. You're the cool spot. Congratulations. Tonopah, you just missed out at 51. 54 is the temperature out in Goldfield. Beatty checking in at 65. Amargosa's the hot spot at 69 degrees. Vegas close behind at 68. Out in Death Valley, they're double digits and loving it at 80 degrees. Perfect day in Death Valley. Here in the Paradise of Pahrump, let's take a look. Our current temperature is 66 degrees. It was 67 just a midge earlier. The winds out of the northwest, not really a factor. 11 miles per hour. Man, it's way better weather than what I was having in Great Falls yesterday. It was a blizzard. It was crazy. Sun rose this morning at 6:05, set this evening. Well, it will be setting this evening, 7:20. We'll look for the sun to go down under clear skies, and the moon will come up, and there'll be beautiful star watching. Perfect as we head to a low tonight of 43 degrees. And coming up for the rest of the week and the weekend, it's great weather. Look at this stuff. Sunshine today and tomorrow. Temperatures up to 83 degrees on Friday, not a cloud in the sky. Some come and visit on Saturday and Sunday, but no real talk of rain. Temperatures all the way up to 86 degrees. We start Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday fresh on the week with clear skies and temperatures in the low and mid 80s. Perfect, wonderful, awesome weather. It's the Paradise of Pahrump for real. All right, back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Thanks so much, Sean. A little update on what is going on with that Cathedral Canyon murder trial. But there was a bunch of pre-trial motions today in Judge Kim Wonger's courtroom. And in fact, we were there all afternoon today for the defendant, Brad Main, and his attorney, Tom Gibson. A bunch bunch of motions brought forward today. One of them was to bring forward about the kidnapping charge and if that should still be looked at for him. And that court date, of course, for his trial is set to start on May 1st. They were looking at that kidnapping charge as well as the evidence of as far as the murder charge. And the judge did rule against them taking those charges and re-looking at them and bringing them back into the Justice Court to have those rearranged. Judge Kent Jasperson, who has since passed, looked at that and decided that there was enough evidence to move that forward into the district court. And she has said that has decided that that ruling stands. Of course, they also looked at the 911 call and the original witness who called 911 stating that he, of course, witnessed those suspects at the Cathedral Canyon and saw them with their vehicle. They have since not been able to locate that witness, and they wanted to use the original testimony from the Justice Court. The judge has decided that they could still be looking for that witness if they can locate them. They have since been trying to locate that original witness, and if they cannot find them, that they will be using that original testimony from the Justice Court. And the third is to accept the transcripts and the body cam footage from Captain David Berukowitz. They are currently looking at that body cam footage and those transcripts that have been submitted to the court, and that has been going on into the evening. And we'll keep you posted on that case as well. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.